We're back for our daily NBA predictions here on Tuesday, March 25th. We've got 8 games today in the National Basketball Association, and we've got predictions for all of them, obviously, here tonight, like we've been doing all season long. Now, folks, before we get into the predictions, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more daily NBA predictions here on the channel. Earlier today, we posted our college basketball best bets featuring both the CBI and the NIT tournaments, so make sure to go check that video out, link in the description down below, along with our UFC Mexico predictions with Brandon Moreno and Steve Urseg main eventing this weekend, of course, in Mexico City, Mexico, in the flyweight division. Make sure to check that video out on Greedo Plays MMA. That is linked in the description down below. Subscribe to Greedo Plays MMA. Subscribe to this channel you're watching this video on, as we now get on to the first of our 8 predictions today. And we start things off in Charlotte, North Carolina. Now we can talk about the Orlando Magic and their victory yesterday. Now, I've known how well Paolo Banchero has been playing. I've been saying the last couple days too. I've been saying, I don't think Paolo Banchero is getting the national recognition and really getting the attention that he should be getting for the way he's playing. And obviously he's going to get it now, obviously, because of the game that he had against the Lakers the other night. I'm not saying that as like how great the Lakers are, but that's just how the media works. There's going to be discussion about Paolo Banchero now, like there should be. It would be the most, Lakers thing ever, though, if the Magic then proceed to lose the Charlotte Hornets tonight. For my own sanity, I'm going to say the Magic win tonight, and they should, right? I mean, this team has now put together 3 out of 4 victories, wins in Cleveland, in Washington, at home against the Lakers, and then a loss against the Houston Rockets. Now, I've watched a fair amount of Orlando Magic basketball this season. It's one of their best shooting nights in a while. I kid you not, one of their best shooting nights since the first time they played the Lakers, especially in the second half. There have been games where the Magic have shot better, obviously, but in the last 2 months, no, I'm not gonna lie, this was their best shooting night. Other than maybe the game in New Orleans, they weren't horrible. But no, this was probably their best shooting night in the second half of the season, which is it just pisses me off, but it's okay. That's, it's what I've come to accept. I'm not going to say that's just a Lakers thing, The Lakers weren't closing out. They weren't playing good defense yesterday. Franz Wagner drops 32. Paolo Banchero had about, 28, 30-ish points. Very good night for Orlando. They now go on the road to take on the Charlotte Hornets. Cole Anthony did not play the Lakers game. I don't know if he's going to play tonight. We'll see. But I'd still expect the Magic to beat Charlotte. I put a little too much faith into Charlotte in their last game. I was like, you know what? The Heat have been very bad at basketball, so I took the Hornets to go to Miami and win. That didn't go the right way, as the Hornets lost that game by 17 points. As they have now lost 4 out of 5, with their only victory somehow being the New York Knicks. I think Nick Smith led them in scoring in their last outing against Miami. And a game where they allowed the Heat to score 122 points to them. Andrew Wiggins exploded for 40. It was just a very weird game. I don't think Charlotte bounces back here. I guess LaMelo Ball is never going to, they're not going to shut him down this year. I kind of just assumed they were going to, in terms of both the tanking aspect of things, how they're eliminated now, and just because Ball has been dealing with some injuries. But I guess LaMelo is just going to keep playing. Regardless, I think the Magic win this basketball game. I don't anticipate them to continue to shoot the way that they were last night, because it's just what happens when teams play the Lakers. And Charlotte, in all fairness to them, they will play tougher defense than Los Angeles does. I mean, I watched possessions yesterday where LeBron didn't give a shit about what happened on defense. And I love LeBron, by the way. Trust me, that's, shout out to, if you're on LeBronify, anyways. But LeBron was playing piss poor defense last night. Luka really wasn't playing the best defense either. I mean, Luka said it was a wake-up call for them, so let's see what happens when they take on Indiana tomorrow. Oh, God, I absolutely hate that spot for the Lakers, but we'll talk about it tomorrow. Anyways, give me the Magic to go to Charlotte and just completely shut them down. We'll see how the Magic play offensively, but they should be able to win, even though it's the second night of a back-to-back. Give me Orlando minus 4.5. Next up, we go to Detroit, Michigan, Pistons, Spurs. This is a squash match. That's in the world of professional wrestling, obviously, but that's exactly what this game is. The Pistons will destroy the San Antonio Spurs. I believe so. Guys, the Spurs aren't going to continue to win basketball games. They're on a 3-game winning streak. This will come to an end eventually, and I think it's going to come to an end tonight. On top of that, Stephon Castle might not even play. Stephon Castle is the best guy by far on this team right now. Yeah, Devin Vassell will have his nights, but Stephon Castle runs this. Well, no, he's like the engine for this team. They need Stephon Castle to operate because a lot of attention defensively at least goes to Stephon Castle. Detroit has won 3 of 4, with the only loss being to Dallas, and we'll get to the Mavericks in a minute. They're interesting right now. I'd expect both Cade Cunningham and Tim Hardaway to play. Now, just with that injury, though, those injuries in mind, I wouldn't bet it. I'd much rather bet the first game tonight, which is Orlando on the spread. Don't get me wrong, I think the Pistons win this basketball game, and I think they still cover, but they are a Cade Cunningham injury away, or a Cade Cunningham not playing tonight away from not winning this game against San Antonio, or not covering this game against San Antonio. The Pistons, they are the 6th seed currently in the Eastern Conference. They've won 3 of 4 with victories over the Pels, Heat, and then Pels again at home with the weird loss in Dallas. But this young core is really coming together, man. It really is. Cade Cunningham is living up to the potential out of Oklahoma State. The Spurs are actually still kind of in the playoff race. They're 3 games out with 11 to go, 15 games to go, give or take. So obviously they need to make up room. I don't think anyone's anticipating the Spurs to get in. I think the Pistons should take care of business. This Spurs insanity run needs to end. And they beat the Knicks, which that was the Sandro Mamukelashvili game where he scored 34 points in 19 minutes. They played the piss poor Sixers, don't care. And they played the Raptors on the road. Sure, I thought the Raptors were going to win that basketball game, but the Raptors are fully embracing the tank at this point. And trust me, tanking is going to be a conversation for the rest of this video because there are some tanking teams coming up. Anyways, though, give me the Detroit Pistons to win this basketball game and cover the points as well. Personally, though, I would stay away. It's just with the injuries, I wouldn't touch it. The game I like more, this might be kind of a hot take, but it's the game of the day. You saw it in the thumbnail. Give me the Miami Heat to beat the Golden State Warriors. I know we have faded the Miami Heat incredibly the last couple weeks, and for good reason. They lost 10 games in a row, and I'm not telling you the win over the Charlotte Hornets is the game and the win that they needed to spark this entire team and get them going. No, that's not at all the point I'm making here. The spark that they need is Jimmy Butler playing on the Golden State Warriors. That's it. I don't think Steph's playing tonight. I don't think so, because if the books thought Steph was playing, this line would be a lot more than 4.5, okay? If Steph plays, we're kind of screwed. But it's a nationally televised game. I think the NBA doesn't want Steph to play tonight either. They want the matchup. They want Jimmy by himself. And I know the Warriors supporting cast isn't horrible, but they want Jimmy Butler to be the guy walking into Miami in front of Pat Riley and trying to win this basketball game. That's what we all want to see tonight. Now, again, Steph Curry's great for the sport. I like watching Steph Curry play basketball. But for one night, yeah, just give us Jimmy versus the Heat. I just want to see it. Let's let Buddy Hield in the starting lineup one night. And let's see what happens when Jimmy takes on Miami here. It's also an Andrew Wiggins revenge game. I think that, gets kind of undersold in all of this. I mean, hell, Wiggins did win a championship with this team. He was an important part of their championship squad. He was an all-star game starter the year where they won the chip in 2022, right? That is something that needs to be talked about, somewhat for the squad or for this game, the narrative of this game. But guys, Miami's been very hurt, and that's what's kind of hurt them throughout this losing streak. Yeah, they weren't able to score, and Bam Adebayo was the only guy giving them production in their starting lineup, but they were very injury prone. Wiggins had games he was out. Adebayo, who was really good, was out some games. Tyler Hero, who's an also this season missed games. Davion Mitchell. They all have cleared up from injury now to take on the Warriors. Duncan Robinson's the only guy on the injury report. He's questionable in this game with lower back pain. I don't know. I just think this is their NBA championship, guys. I'm not joking. This is their game. Just all the motivation that you need is on the other team tonight. Jimmy's walking into Miami after all that controversy, regardless of if the guys in the Heat dislike Jimmy or not, which I don't know. We're not in that locker room. But you gotta think, just all the media attention that was on the Miami Heat and has been on the Miami Heat this season, including this game, has been about Jimmy Butler. I feel like they gotta be fired up to win this basketball game, and I don't think this team loses at home against a guy in Jimmy Butler who actively wanted to get out of Miami, Florida, and go to the Bay Area. I'm taking the Miami Heat to win this basketball game. You can keep your points here. We're straight up taking Miami. I think they're able to win it. I think Bam Adebayo is something that, I think the bigs for Miami, if they probably won't start Cleo Ware tonight, I don't think, because then who are you going to put him on, right? Because you're going to put Bam on Draymond Green. Who the hell is Cleo Ware going to guard? So I'd assume they'd go to probably Hayward Highsmith in the starting lineup, if I'm not mistaken. Anyways, though, Draymond Green and Bam Adebayo, I don't mind the matchup for Bam at all. It's a matchup we don't get to see that often, obviously, with the two different conferences. And we'll see. It'll be Wiggins and Jimmy Butler, and we'll see how that goes. I'm taking the Heat in this game. They have to be fired up to win this basketball game. And I'll be honest, I just don't know how much Jimmy cares about this game. Obviously, he's going to care, but I just think this is credit to both sides, I guess. I don't know how you want to take this. I think this is just another game for Jimmy Butler. It is. He knows the Warriors are going to be in the playoffs. He's, focused on winning a championship, right? This is just another game for him. This is everything for Miami. They're the 10 seed in the East. They're going to be in the play-in. They're going to be a one and done, likely by Orlando or Chicago. This is their season right here. They are going to do everything to win this basketball game. Spoelstra is going to do everything to win this basketball game. Pat Riley is going to tell those guys to do anything to win this basketball game. Give me the Miami Heat to beat the Golden State Warriors in this grudge match. Let's go on to our next game here. We go to the Garden. The Knicks versus the Mavericks. I'm taking Knicks -8.5 for the sole reason that Anthony Davis is not going to play tonight. And I think the Mavericks on a second night of a back-to-back. I know they looked a lot better last night against the Nets. Proved me wrong. Personally, I didn't even think AD was going to play last night. I thought he was going to play maybe tonight, or the day I thought he was going to return was going to be Thursday in Orlando. But to my surprise, Anthony Davis was back. I think the Mavericks are going to be a lot better. I think they're probably at this point, I think they'll make the play-in now. I'm starting to think that the Kings are just going to miss. I know their schedule's much easier than Phoenix and Dallas, but Phoenix and Dallas, to their credit, are getting hot at the right time right now. Sacramento's ice cold. And they're probably going to continue to be ice cold because we'll talk about their game at the nightcap on TNT later tonight. All right. Dallas, I think they're going to, again, I think they'll be in the plan. I just think without Anthony Davis tonight, and they are still fairly injured, second night of a back-to-back, I think they're going to lose to the Knicks. They're still in New York, obviously. They took on the Nets last night. The Knicks have not been impressive. Jalen Brunson is still, I believe, a couple weeks away, which they should get him back for the playoffs, but it is a Karl Anthony Towns-led squad for now, which is fine. But I do think the Knicks dominate this matchup, again, with the injuries on the side of Dallas. I would be very surprised if Anthony Davis played the second night of a back-to-back. Sure, the Mavericks need to win games, but long-term wise, what's more important, winning this one game against the Knicks or Anthony Davis being healthy? I mean, for as crazy as this sounds, Anthony Davis is the franchise now in Dallas. He is. He is the franchise piece. He's their guy in Dallas. So they have to keep him healthy. And obviously, AD healthy is a top 10 player in the sport. So, you don't trade Luka Doncic, though. But anyways, I'm taking the New York Knicks to win this basketball game and cover. I just think the injuries for the Mavericks are going to be too much tonight. I think they're looking better. I think they're going to be in the play-in. They'll probably get that game against Phoenix, where I think they'll probably lose, if I'm being honest. But again, we'll see if we get that. I think the Knicks, though, win this basketball game, and I think they cover at home against the Dallas Mavericks. Next up, we go to our fifth game of the night, and we move to Houston, Texas, as the Rockets take on the Atlanta Hawks. I'm so tempted to take this Hawks money line. I really am. Plus 280. Ooh, I am tempted. I'm not going to, though. I'm going to go plus 8.5 on Atlanta. That's the official play here. You can take the Houston money line, but honestly, I don't mind Atlanta here at all. I think they might beat the Rockets. The Rockets coming off a bad loss. I don't care how you put it. That's a bad loss, losing at home to the Nuggets. That's the game you're supposed to win. You want us to take you seriously. All right, you're playing the Nuggets without Jokic on your home court. Go win the basketball game. They don't, okay? That's why nobody's treating the Rockets as a serious threat. That's why they are, looked at as just, the Grizzlies from a couple years ago. But worse, honestly. They're the team the top 7 teams want to play in the first round. Let's just be honest. They're the team. Memphis. You really want to play Memphis, I think. Yeah, I'd rather play Memphis than Houston. Hell, I mean, I've said this before as a Lakers fan. I want the Nuggets in the first round. Don't care. Well, I wouldn't mind the Clippers, but I want the Nuggets. That's the team I want. They're bad. I don't care. They're horrible. Shout out to the Bulls last night. Josh Giddey cash froze his game. Again, Josh Giddey and Kobe White. Yes, sir. I'm tempting Hawks money line here, but I'm going to go plus 8.5 on Atlanta. That's the official play here. 3-game winning streak for the Hawks, right? Beating the Hornets, beating the Warriors without Curry, and then beating the 76ers. This team shows up, man. Trae Young is a clutch time player. Trae Young had 9 points going into the third quarter, or going, I think, in the third quarter against Philadelphia. Finished with 28 against the Sixers. Trae Young's a big time player, man. He's a superstar in this league. If he wasn't playing for the Hawks and wasn't stuck in, mediocrity, at least with this franchise, he would be looked at as an elite player in this league. Again, we've talked about the long-term future of Trae Young. I don't know what's going to happen. I like what Atlanta's got going here. Dyson Daniels, guys, should be winning multiple awards he should be winning multiple awards this year. Not just Defensive Player of the Year. He should win Defensive Player of the Year. He should be all defensive first team, and he should be Most Improved Player. I don't care. It should not go to Cade Cunningham. Cade Cunningham has always been good. I get it. He's taken that next step this season, but you're forgetting what the actual award is. Dyson Daniels is the definition of the most improved player. He's gotten better defensively. He's gotten better on offense. This is a guy who, yes, was a top 8 pick, but wasn't the number 1 overall pick like Cade Cunningham. He goes from averaging 6 points a game last year to 14 this year and being the best defensive player in the entire NBA. Dyson Daniels is the most improved player, and he's the defensive player of the year. I don't care. That's the definition of the award. And also, Dyson Daniels is probably the third best piece in this team offensively. Zachary Ricochet, man. We're not talking about Zachary Ricochet enough. This guy has shown up. Big surprise, the number 1 overall pick in the draft, who is 19 years old, just turned 19, took a while to get going. Zachary Rissachet is going to be a very good player in this league for a very long time. Yeah, he's not going to win Rookie of the Year, but Rissachet is probably still the best player in this class. I'm not joking. He is. The guy's really turned up as of late. Yes, he's averaging 12 a night so far this season, but you look at his last 10, the guy's averaging 15 points a game. That will play. Trae Young in company, Houston plays a good defensive game, but the Hawks run against everybody. As long as they can hit their shots, the Hawks will be competitive with any team in the league. It's one of my favorite spots in any game, like any possible game I can get. Hawks as plus money dogs. I absolutely love the Hawks to cover because they usually do, because their shooting keeps them in games, and they're a very underrated defensive team. Yes, they give up a lot of points, but they force turnovers with guys like Dyson Daniels. Give me the Atlanta Hawks here on the spread. I don't mind the money line, but the best play here is plus 8.5. I put minus 360 on the Rockets, and this is why I always put it for the money line too. I don't mind Hawks money line. It's not a bad sprinkle. But the way I always treat things, if I had to put my house on it, what am I betting? Hawks money line at plus 280 or Rockets money line? I'd probably still bet Houston just because they're at home, but I don't mind the bet either for the Hawks and the money line. But give me plus 8.5. That's the official play here. Next up comes the disgrace of the NBA, the Utah Jazz. Guys, watch a Utah Jazz game right now. It's actually hilarious. They're finding new ways to tank. It's so funny. So I think someone probably at the league caught on to the Jazz's tanking. They realized, why does Lauri Markkanen never play? Why does Walker Kessler play once every 5 nights and he's completely healthy? So they said, you know what? All right, we're just going to let Walker Kessler shoot 1,000,000 threes a game. That's what they're doing now. And they're going to disguise this, and the Jazz commentators will disguise this as, oh, he's just working on a 3-point shot. Guys, Walker Kessler is I think an 11% 3-point shooter. They are inventing new ways to tank. He shot 8 3-pointers last night or on Sunday against the Cavs. What? He shot 6 against the Wizards, 6 against the Timberwolves. He's shooting at an 11% rate in this month from the 3-point line. It's hilarious what they're doing. Guys, for reference, Walker Kessler did not attempt a single 3 in the month of February. And in March, he's shooting 30. It's hilarious. The Jazz are trying to play 5 out now, and they're like, all right, we're just going to make Walker Kessler a 3-point shooter because they're trying to lose basketball games. It's the funniest stuff ever. So they're going to look at Memphis tonight. They're going to say, oh, they're on a 3-game losing streak. Oh, Ja's not going to play. All right, Walker Kessler to shoot as many threes as possible. It's so funny, man. It's actually hilarious. So now they don't have to rule, Kessler out every single night. Markkanen didn't play yesterday. He was sick. He'll probably be back tonight. And Colin Sexton now is going to be sick. I'm serious. Sexton's going to randomly get sick tonight. But they can now afford to keep Kessler in the lineup every single night because defensively, they're bringing Kessler out the paint. And offensively, they are too. It's so hilarious. It's the funniest stuff ever. It's comedy, man. It's actual comedy what the Jazz are doing right now. They're going to get blown out tonight. Guys, they're trying to lose. This is the furthest... This is the craziest tanking I've ever seen. Like, since the 76ers, when the whole trust the process thing. This is the most insane tanking lengths I've ever seen. It's hilarious, though. Like, at what point do you just sit here and laugh? Because that's what I do when I watch Utah Jazz games. Guys, I kind of look forward to watching Jazz basketball now. Because it's just a clown show. And sure, I do enjoy some Cody Williams basketball sometimes. Cody Williams, Isaiah Collier. There's players on this team, but it's hilarious what they're doing to try to not win games at this point. They're trying to capture the flag, and I'm telling you guys, they're going to get stuck with VJ Edgecombe with pick number 5. It's going to be hilarious. Anyways, let's move on to our next. I'm going to go to Portland, Oregon. Oh, by the way, Grizzlies minus 10.5 is the play. Portland here at home take on the Cavaliers. I'm taking the Cavs. 6.5 point favorites of the Cavaliers on the road. I think they get it. I think they do. I think their losing ways are over. And, again, right, you need to finally pick up a win. You've lost a bunch in a while. You've lost 4 games in a row. What do? Oh, you just go to Utah. And you're going to see Walker Kessler shoot 8 3-pointers a game. He's going to hit 1, but, it's just, I don't know. Cleveland, right, coming off that win over the Jazz. They win by 30. They get the Blazers, who were on a 4-game winning streak, but the Celtics went into Portland and beat them. I think the Cavs are going to do the same exact thing. Donovan Mitchell not playing tonight. I still think Cleveland does beat this basketball team. Portland is dealing with injuries in their own right, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, Jeremy Grant's still out. I think Ayton's still out. I know, again, those are not the most important guys for this Portland team. I just think Cleveland finds a way. They have to look back at the standings at this point and see, Boston's only 4.5 back of us at this point. I think it's really important for Cleveland, especially with the injuries that they've been dealing with, right? Donovan Mitchell and company, right? Strus has been hurt at times. Evan Mobley missed a game a couple of days ago. What they have to be looking at here, they just got to find a way to win as many games as possible, as quick as possible, just so they can lock up this number 1 seed and just stop caring about the regular season, right? I mean, Cleveland just needs to get as healthy as possible. They have the roster and they have the lineup to make a championship push this season. But what you can't have is a injury to Mitchell, Garland, or Mobley. Because if one of those three guys are down, sure, they can still make a push, but man, is the push really, it takes a hit. Now, big factor in all of this is Jason Tatum, right? Is Jason Tatum going to be out for the foreseeable future? I don't think so. I think Tatum's might be out till the postseason, but even if Tatum's out for the year, that just means, all right, Boston's going to be the 2 seed, and we're going to see Tatum, hopefully healthy for the playoffs. But yeah, if Tatum is out and compromised, okay, that changes a lot in the Eastern Conference. And don't get me wrong, I still think the Indiana Pacers are going to make a run this year. I'm just saying. But the primary focus for Cleveland should be healthy. But in a game like this against Portland, they should be fine. I think the Cavs match up against the Blazers really well. Both teams try to run, but the Cavs, they just do it better, and the Cavs hit their shots more effectively than Portland as well. So I think Cleveland goes on the road here to Portland. I know they've been on the road for a while, but I think they do. I believe the road trip's over here, right? Yeah, they go on the road, finish out the road trip, and beat the Portland Trail Blazers and cover the 6.5 points in the process as well, even without Donovan Mitchell. We go on to our final game of the night, and we go to Sacramento, California. No, I'm not blindly picking the Thunder here. This one has logic. Guys, the Kings, their season's over. Not yet, but I'm kind of convinced they're going to be the team out. I really think so. This team has now lost 3 in a row. 3 games we all thought they were going to lose. Well, I thought they were going to lose. I thought the Bulls were going to beat them because, again, the Bulls are legit. The Bulls are going to take a couple games off the Cavs in the playoffs. Just saying. Guys, if Jason Tatum, which I don't think he's going to be, if Jason Tatum's out and the Bulls get the 7 seed somehow, all right. It's shades of when D Rose got hurt for the Bulls and they lost in the first round. I'm just saying. Okay. The Celtics are much better than that D Rose team. Anyways, I'm just saying, guys, I don't know. I think we start pushing all of our chips in the center of the table for the Chicago Bulls at this point, man. I'm buying in. I'm buying in on the Bulls right now. And hey, the Bulls are getting national media attention now because they beat the Lakers and they beat the Nuggets. I was high on the Bulls before. I want to make that very clear. As soon as we got out the break and they got rid of Levine and Giddey started popping off, I want to make it very clear. I am a Josh Giddey truther, okay? I don't know about off the court, but he's innocent. I'm a Josh Giddey truther. Anyways, Sacramento 3 straight losses. They're not good, okay? Sabonis is back, great, but the schedule that they have to play, it's not the best. Orlando might be back. They got to go on the road to play them. They get Portland on Thursday. They'll probably win that. But Sacramento's in trouble, guys. They really are. And now you get OKC. An OKC team that has nothing to play for. They just don't, right? They're 59-12. Very good victory that they pulled out against the Clippers the other night at the Intuit Dome. My suggestion for this game, if you want to bet it, I would take Thunder. I would take the Thunder on the spread. My favorite play here is Shea over on points. It's just Shea's always played fairly well against Sacramento. I was at the game in Sacramento last year between the Thunder and the Kings. If I'm not mistaken, Shea had 40 in that one. My suggestion if you're going to bet this game, wait till after the injuries officially get cleared up with OKC. Right? You got a lot of guys questionable. I don't think J-Dub's returning tonight. I don't think so. I think the Thunder at that point in the year right now, where if he's listed as questionable, he's not coming back, right? If he's probable, they are going to play him. I think why rush J-Dub back? They have the 1 seed. There's no point. Same with Chet, right? If he's questionable, he's probably not playing. You know he's not questionable? Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, right? The Kings aren't the best defensive team, and Shea should really be able to pick them apart. And Sacramento, you can take away J-Dub, you can take away Chet, but still, these role players and the other rotational guys for the Thunder still play really good defensively. I mean, Lou Dort, Aaron Wiggins, Caruso, these are really good defensive guys. Chet doesn't play. All right, Hartenstein's on the team as well. I mean, that's a tough team to deal with, man. I don't care that, again, their 2 other parts of their big 3 are out. Not having, with Shea just on the court is, in and itself a big deal. I don't know. I think the Thunder still win this game and cover. I'd wait, though, because I think we're going to get 7.5 once Chet and J-Dub are ruled out. And I think that changes a lot, obviously. But my favorite play here is Shea over on points. And guys, before I leave you guys tonight, I just want to leave you guys with this this image to resonate in your mind. All right, Thunder minus 9.5 and money line is the play. Shea Gilgeous over on points. Anyways, guys, this is the OKC takeover in the NBA. All right, I just want you to look at this picture right here, and then I want you to look at this picture. Okay, just saying. I'm just saying. I don't know who J-Dub isn't involved in this. I guess J-Dub is Serge Ibaka if Ibaka was a lot better. That's disrespectful to Ibaka, but J-Dub's playing really well this season. Anyways, don't read this comment. Just don't read this one down here. But anyways, yeah, just saying, the Thunder are back, and the Thunder are producing all-level talent, all-NBA talent again. And yes, Josh Giddey's going to be an all-NBA player next season. Just saying. Anyways, folks, thank y'all for watching. Make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more. Make sure to leave a like if you enjoy the video. Make sure to comment if you do disagree with any of the picks. We'll be back tomorrow for more daily NBA predictions. Folks, thank y'all for watching, and Mamba forever.